Essex will play Warwickshire in the quarter-finals of the Royal London One Day Cup in Chelmsford next Thursday afternoon in a repeat of the T20 last 8 tie. That after the Eagles chased down a target of 312 with 4 wickets and 3 balls to spare in spite of a brilliant 100 from Northamptonshire's David Willey at Wantage Road. Acting Eagles captain Mark Patini inserted after winning the toss, and that didn't appear to be the right thing to do as Richard Levy and Rob Keogh got the Steelbacks off to just the start they wanted. They needed a win and defeats for Leicestershire and Derbyshire if they were to stay on the road to Lords, and they began very well. 9 fours were hit in the first 50, which arrived in the 7th over, the same one that saw the first 6 of the game, Levy pulling Matt Salisbury over mid-wicket. Keogh played a very good hand at the top of the order. Although it was his partner who was playing all the shots at the start, Keogh was the first to his 50 off just 38 balls, a 7th 4 taking him there. Only for him to be dismissed next delivery, Reece Topley bowling the opener off the inside edge to end a 100 partnership which had been realised in only 13.5 overs. Kyle Kurtzer lasted just 3 balls, David Masters inducing a fault shot that gave Kishan Balani an easy catch in the covers. By then, Levy had made a half-century off 44 balls, but he was then involved in the run-out of the in-form Adam Rossington, the two making a hash of their communication as their side slipped to 116 for 3 at the start of over number 19. The one good thing about that was that it brought in Willey. He made a watchful start to his knock before he smashed his 22nd ball a long way off Salisbury, who was expensive. Willey appeared to be in one of those moods, showing all that his back problems must be getting better, with big shots such as this one off Tim Phillips. The all-rounder raced to his 4th list day half-century off 46 balls, as he took his number of 4s to 4 to go with his 2 6s, all after failing to find the boundary at all in his first 22. But he was now looking very threatening as far as the visitors were concerned. Willey enjoyed the bowling of Tom Wesley, and it looked as if Northamptonshire were going to amass a massive total. 230 runs were already on the board in 35 overs when Levy got a leading edge to a wide leg side ball from Topley, who took the return catch to remove the opener for 84. He'd put on 114 in 17 overs with Willey, who made 79 of them. He had added only a couple more when he lost Graham White, who, after being brought up the order, cut Masters to Salisbury after making a rapid 11. A total well in excess of 350 was on the cards in spite of those losses, with Willey continuing to blaze away, even decent deliveries carrying the distance. That shot had taken him to 94, and 3 balls later, he was at his second one-day 100 with another 4, his 9th to go with his 4 6s, which had taken him to his ton of only 84 balls in an hour and a half of top entertainment. This was the England Lion at the top of his batting game. With Ben Duckett joining in the mayhem with this extraordinary shot for 6, Northamptonshire had 298 runs on the board with the best part of 6 overs still to come. But from nowhere they collapsed horribly after Willey on 113 just failed to find his 5th maximum off Greg Smith, Topley with a crucial catch in the deep, Willey falling to his 93rd delivery. Next over, just after the 300 had been posted, Duckett bottom-edged the ball from Wesley onto his stumps after making 22. The rest fell in a flash. Matt Spreagle was comfortably stumped by Foster as Wesley struck for a second time. Then, 3 balls later, Andrew Hall was LBW on the pull as the home side lost their way completely after Willey's excellence. Indeed, Wesley finished the innings off with 3 wickets in 5 balls. Azarullah another LBW victim as the bowler ended with the best figures of his career of 4 for 60 from his 10 overs as the Steelbacks slipped from 298 for 6 to 311 all out in just 22 balls. Essex would have been expecting to chase down a lot more to pretty much guarantee a home tie in the last 8 of this 50-over competition. Wesley then continued his wonderful work by getting his side off to a flyer with his captain Patini. Willey was soon expensive as these two both quickly began to find the boundary. Wesley cleared it in the 8th over of the reply, Maurice Chambers being smashed over mid-wicket. The batsman was in terrific touch. 3 more fours and a single Chambers over had the opener at his 50 off only 31 balls in what was a magnificent match for the informed 25-year-old. He'd already hit 8 fours and a maximum. He was out for 62, having knocked off 94 of the runs in 15.5 overs, Spreagle trapping Wesley in front as the spinner began his spell with a wicket maiden. Patini wasn't quite as fluent as his opening partner, but a stunning shot through the covers off White had him at his half-century of 62 balls, that being his 4th 4. His side were going along nicely. Even more so when their captain started to go big. Both Spreagle and Chambers were sent into the distance as the target was brought down to 134 of the last 20 overs, the Eagles flying to a total of 178 for 1 off the first 30. Ravi Bopara put his omission from the England one-day squad behind him by working the ball around well, with the occasional boundary helping him add 106 in 17 overs with Patini, who was out for runner ball 88 when he chipped this delivery from White via a leading edge to Kurtzer. That wicket fell with a total on 200 in over number 33, and we still had a game on when Willey flattened Jake Mickleborough's leg stump 14 runs later. Bopara, though, kept his composure, getting to his third 50 of the campaign off 64 balls, from which he'd hit only 3 fours, but picked the gaps for his 1s and 2s with great skill. The target was brought down to 61 off the last 10 overs. With wickets in hand, that looked to be an easy task, but Villani was then yorked by Willey on 27. Before, Bopara also heard the death rattle after missing this ball from Hall to leave on 61. With 6 overs to go, Essex now needed 42. 21 runs came off the next 2, and then Foster was bowled as he missed a scoop. But Phillips and Smith then guided their side to their target with few alarms. 5 had been needed off the final over, and to the third ball this boundary ensured that Essex will be back at home for a quarter-final next Thursday, an early chance to exact their revenge on Warwickshire, who beat them at the same stage in the 20-over competition. It was a masterful chase from a team missing the likes of Ryan Tenduscarter, Jesse Ryder and Graham Napier through injury. Without them, Essex still made 315 for 6 from 49.3 overs to keep themselves firmly on the road to Lord's, finishing second in the group, while Northamptonshire had to settle for 6th to bow out.